All right, here we go. We are all set, all ready, and live. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back into the episode number 68 into your own The Coaching Hour show. You know, every week we go live here every Thursday for an approximately an hour. We share ideas, we share information that we believe is going to transform your life for a betterment. And whenever we share something or whenever we speak something, we speak from a point of view based upon what we know has worked in our life. And today we have another fabulous lesson for you, and it is on the law of increase. And when I look at the word increase, like we all are seeking increase in our life in one form or another. If you're already earning a good amount of money, you might be seeking more better income. If you're already living in a good lifestyle or having a good house, you may be thinking of moving into a more better and a more comfortable house. You see, it is our natural inherent desire to seek more better than what we presently have. And we're going to expand upon like what are the deep insights behind, the insights behind the law of increase, how faith plays a very important part, and what are the other key elements that we have here for you. So to really bring the curtain down from the show, I would love to bring Shaker right here in front of you to kickstart this thing. Shaker, over to you, rocket, and I'll join you in the later part of the show. The stage is all yours. You're muted, Shaker.
Sorry for that. I was muted.
All right,
Uh,
it's all great now.
yeah,
Go
thank you
ahead.
so much, Sukhvi. And today we are going to talk about the law of increase in this episode 68 of the free coaching hour. Uh, I have just two sections to this law of increase today. First, I'll be laying some foundations with the introduction, and then we are going to get into the law of increase, and we'll see what the law of increase actually is and how do we apply it in every area of our lives. Um, to begin with, when we were kids, we had heard stories of, Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. We had heard stories of fairies and stories which had magic wands. Certain characters had magic wands with them, and they could just, manifest anything with the magic wand. Uh, Now, these are stories which are quite old and they have been passed down as stories from generation to generation, and we teach these stories to kids. And then by the time we grow adults, we forget about these stories. We have some kind of memory about these stories, but we actually never take these kind of stories pretty seriously. But if we look at the way the ancients or the people of the medieval ages told this story, the way they narrated it, they were trying to tell us through all these different stories, be it the magic lamp, the magic wand, or the fairies, you will find one common thing. These storytellers were trying to tell us, the human civilization, that there is a principle existing in the universe which can give you anything literally that you want, which can get you out of any problem that you want. It has solution to all of your problems, and whatever you desire, be it any kind of happiness, health, or wealth, you have it. It's already yours. But you must understand this principle. Now, this principle was personified as a magic lamp. It was personified as fairies or magic wands. But if we look in today's world of science and psychology and in the business industry, talking about these stories to these gentlemen would, be absolutely absurd. We cannot actually convince them that these stories make sense. But if you look at these stories are symbolic. They have been told by storytellers who were mystics. And the only thing that they wanted to convey through the symbols and through the stories was that a principle in the universe exists, which can give you anything it is that you want. And uh, Dr. Raymond Hollowell started the chapter of law of increase again with all these tooth fairy stories and the magic wand and Aladdin's lamp. It's because we have to understand that what these storytellers were trying to tell us was about the topic of faith and praise. Now, in an earlier chapter on the law of attraction, we talked about how Raymond Hollowell taught us that desire alone does not put the law of attraction into action. You have to couple it with expectation. Same way, in the law of increase, faith is not important. No, sorry, faith is important. It's not the only thing that's required. It must be coupled with praise. And praise is the application of the wisdom and understanding in action. You develop faith through two means. either through blind faith. It's like somebody comes and tells you anything and you believe in it without even questioning it. And another part is where somebody comes and gives you a part of philosophy, you question it, you try to put it into practice, you see whether it works or not. That is when you have a faith which has come to you through wisdom and understanding. Now, what happens in faith is when you have the wisdom of the laws of the universe, when you understand how the laws of the universe work, you will automatically develop the faith that whatever goals you have, be it your business goals, your personal goals, your health goals, your career goals, any goals it is that you have with you right now, it's absolutely possible to achieve all of them. You can have more than what you're asking for right now, and all you need is faith. And you need to couple it with praise. Praise is the force in action. Praising for, giving praise to everything that you have around you is using the law of increase in action. Praising and giving thanks in advance for already being in the feeling that your goals are already accomplished. That's true praising, and it's through two of these things that any goal is achieved. Now, here's an example that the author gives. He says that, faith can be, if it can be likened to a boiler which contains power, then praise is the fuel that puts that power into an action force. And that is how, in that force, you get all the ideas to do all the things that you have to do to get to your goals. You take action when you start praising everything that you have right now, and you start praising your goal that you have already accomplished it. So praise is basically giving thanks in advance. It's not giving thanks after you've got something. This is a different kind of a praise. You give it because you are sure with your faith that you will receive it. So you give praise. And in the law of receiving, we learned that whatever it is you give out, it's the exact thing that you receive. So when you give praise, you will get your goals accomplished in such a way that you will be praised. With this, let us move into the law of increase after understanding faith and praise. Now, Raymond Holliwell starts by talking about prayer. He says that prayer should never be one of pleading, begging, or it should not be in a sad state. We have seen people praying like this, pleading, begging, being in a sad state, crying. We have maybe done it ourselves, but that is not the right way to pray. If you want to work with the law of increase in your life, you need to change the way you pray or the way you meditate. And what you need to do is, Raymond Holliwell says, it has to be a state of claiming, declaring, decreeing, joyful thanksgiving, coupled with praise. These are the 5 things that you need to keep in mind. So tonight, when you pray, before you go to bed, what you need to do is you need to claim whatever it is you want. You need to decree how your lifestyle should be. You declare what kind of a business you are running. And then get into the feeling that all of these things have been accomplished. They are already done. That will take you in a joyful state where you will be giving thanks in advance, thereby applying the law of increase in your prayer. It's very important. Once you start applying the law of increase in your prayers, you will see that automatically throughout the day, in most of your matters and affairs, you will be applying the law of increase automatically. The author says, one of the first requisites of the law is that we keep ever an attitude of praise and thanksgiving. If we hope to receive of God's outpouring good, we must keep ourselves receptive. And praise is one of the simplest means known to accomplish this. Praise is one of the simplest means to accomplish anything that it is you want. But for that, you need to be receptive. And how do you become receptive to God's outpouring? Is by taking your mental vibration to a level where you already are thinking that your goals have been accomplished, and you are in a joyful feeling that your goals have been accomplished. Isn't that going to be the best feeling you're ever going to have? So get into that feeling, tap into that feeling. How would it feel if your goal was already accomplished? That is the feeling that you need to, get yourself in, and then praise the goal. Praise the law. It means give thanks that your goal is already accomplished. Walk, talk, and act like the man or the woman that you want to be. Don't look at your current state of affairs right now and think, oh, I won't be able to do that. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. Don't do that. Stop it right now. apply the law of increase in every area of your life and see everything changing automatically as if like by magic. But it's not a magic, it's a process. Now, there are three things that we need to get rid of and three things that we need to look for or adapt to work in harmony with the law of increase. Now, three things that we need to get rid of. Why? Because these three things are actually creating a barrier towards the accomplishment of our goals because we are working against the law of increase. What are the things that we need to get rid of? Looking at the weaknesses of ourselves and others, looking at the failures of ourselves and others, and looking at the shortcomings of ourselves and others. If you are thinking about your failure or someone else's failure, stop thinking about it right now and replace it with the three things that I'm going to talk about in just a moment. If you're looking at your shortcomings or others' shortcomings, you need to stop it right now. Understand that you are working against the law of increase if you're entertaining these things. If you're looking at your own weaknesses, if you're making a list of your weaknesses, if you're discussing with your friends their weaknesses, your weaknesses, you are working actively against the law of increase. So how do we work with the law of increase? If we have to let go of three of these thinking patterns and emotions, then what are the things that we need to adopt? Number one, we need to only think and talk about accomplishments. Our accomplishments and others' accomplishments. Anytime you have a friend coming over to you talking about his failures or weaknesses or any those kind of things that puts anybody into a negative vibration, start talking to your friend about your accomplishments and then ask him a question. What was the last thing that you accomplished just the way you had thought about it? So this is the kind of behavior, this is the kind of thinking, this is the kind of feeling that you need to move into. Talk only about accomplishments. You start by thinking of only accomplishments. Then look for the good in everything. In this way, you're working with the law of increase. Remember Bob Proctor's quote, the good you see in others reflects the good in you. Well, you need to start applying that right now. The good you see in others reflects the good in you. It means that you have a very strong self-image. You look only for the good in yourself. And when you start looking for only the good in yourself, you won't be able to criticize anybody. You'll only look at the good that they have got with them, and you will attract only the good that they have got to give to you. And the third thing is appreciate beauty. Appreciate your own beautiful mind. Appreciate your beautiful body. Appreciate others' beauty. Appreciate beauty of everything. Appreciate the beauty of the car that you drive, the home that you live in. Because these three things are worthy of our praise. If we are giving our interest, our attention to something that we are praising, why should we praise weakness? Why should we praise shortcomings? Why should we praise the stumbling blocks? We should start praising the accomplishments. We should start praising the good that we see in ourselves and others. We should start, applying the law of increase in terms of beauty. And with this, the author says, praise with the heart is far more vital and effectual than praise with the head or praise from the lips. Praise does not flatter nor influence God as it does some humans who are turned by superficial praise and applause. Praise is not intended for God. It is intended only for man and is an aid to enable man to lift himself upwards to become attuned with the law or God. Praise with the heart is more effectual and vital. This means praising from the heart means praising from your feelings. The first thing that you need to do to praise from the heart is to get into the feeling of your goal already being accomplished. How would you feel if your goal is already accomplished? What would be the thrill like? What would be the joy like? How happy would you be? Have you ever imagined that? You've got a wonderful faculty of imagination. Use it. Go into a silence of 20 minutes. Turn off all the lights. Stay away from everything. Put your phones in flight mode and just close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and start thinking about your goal. Start picturing your goal exactly the way you want your business to look like, exactly the way you want to travel, the places where you want to travel, exactly the amount of money that you want to earn. Start doing all of these things and then get into the feeling and then praise after getting into the feeling. That is praising from the heart. If you're just thinking about the law of increase as an intellectual concept and you say, wow, I will just keep on writing affirmations and doing this and that and all, I have to do this because this is my daily routine, it's not working. These are categorized under vain repetitions. It means you are repeating everything in vain because you were never ever going to get to see the results. The prayer, the praise must be from the heart. And that's where all your feelings are. The heart over here means the subconscious mind. The laws of the universe, as discussed in an earlier episode of this free coaching hour series, responds to your subconscious mind. It means whatever your emotional mind is dictating, that is exactly the kind of reality you will be experiencing. So work on your feelings, work on your thoughts, change your thoughts, and your feelings will automatically change. Your behavior will automatically change with a change in your feelings, and you will take action based on your thoughts and feelings, and you will get exactly the results that you've been always looking for. The author says it is intended only for man and is an aid to enable man to lift himself upwards to become attuned with the law or God. So if you want to raise your mental vibration to the vibration in which every good that you desire can come to you, you need to praise by having faith in the Lord that everything that you have asked for, it already exists. The formless substance through which the entire universe has been given a form, that formless substance contains the blueprint, the exact blueprint of how things are going to come about for you to get your goals accomplished. Now, to get that blueprint from the formless substance, to extract it, we need to raise our level of vibration. We cannot be sad in our prayers. We cannot be criticizing, looking at the bad or the ugliness in others, and yet expecting God to give us everything that we want. We need to raise our level of vibration. We need to look for accomplishments, the good, the beauty, apply the law of increase, have faith, work with our desire and expectation, work on our interests, give attention to our interests, work with everything, and give praise for everything that we have right now with us, and praise for the fact that whatever it is, the picture that we have in our mind right now of our goal, it has already been accomplished. Raymond Holliwell says, when one can sing praises in the face of adversity, the adversity will soon disappear. That is not a promise, that is a law. Now, here's the best part. Learn to render praise, to be thankful for the good at hand, and you will have found the magic lamp of spirit. During the introduction phase of this talk that I'm giving right now on the law of increase, I talked about Aladdin's magic lamp, the magic wands, the fairies, all of those. You see, there is a principle that the ancient civilization understood. These principles were passed down in the form of stories, which we did not take in the form of symbols or stories or personifications. We took them literally and we made these things for kids. These are for kids, actually, to open up their imagination. But if you look at it in a way, this principle can actually give you everything that it is you want. In fact, Aladdin had only 3 wishes from the magic lamp. But this magic lamp of the spirit can keep on giving you everything that you want as much as you want. But you have to raise your level of vibration by following the laws of the universe. Only then you can consider this to be a magic lamp of the spirit. Only you can experiment this law in your own life, in your own affairs, to prove that you have finally found the magic lamp of the spirit. Moving on, the author says, when you learn to take what you have and build upon it, not with scorn and condemnation, but with praise and gratitude, you are working the law, and the law will give the increase. That's a very powerful teaching right there. What it says is, let's take an example that you want to scale your business. Now, to scale your business, you only have a rough plan with you. You do not have the tools, you do not have the resources, you do not know how to buy a higher subscription. Everything that you have planned to scale your business, everything costs a lot of money. Maybe you want to purchase something in even a higher bulk rate, but you don't have the money to actually lower down your costs because you have to pay more for the more bulk orders that you're going to place in. So maybe there are a lot of stumbling blocks in your business plan right now. This is exactly what's going to work if you think that your business plan is full of stumbling blocks. When you learn to take what you have and build upon it, not with scorn and condemnation, but with praise and gratitude, you are working the law, and the law will give you the increase. Again, that is not a promise, that is a law. What are the tools and resources that you have right now? Just a mobile phone, just a laptop, you can turn your business into $1 million business with just a phone and laptop. And people are doing it all over the world. I don't even have to give you examples. You know, people are doing it. How are they doing it? Consciously or unconsciously, they are following the law of increase. Whatever it is that they have at hand, they are praising it, they are valuing it. They are using that mobile phone to shoot videos. They are using that mobile phone to write blogs, to shoot pictures, do everything that whatever they can to earn money. They are working with a plan, whatever it is that they have. And slowly, when you start getting money from your little investments, you can put it on the bigger investments or the bigger picture of your business plan. Everything goes in progression. Nothing just comes right onto your lap when you start working with imagination. You have to take certain steps. You have to be inspired to take action. And the inspiration comes when you pray and meditate effectively from the heart by tapping into the feeling that your business plan, whatever is required, you already have the tools, you have the resources, you have the people, you have the contracts. Everything is signed up for, right? And you're running that business successfully. You have scaled it successfully just the way you wanted to do it. It's only then the law works. And not only does it work, it gives you increase. And now I will leave you with what I believe is the most important teaching in this entire chapter. And Raymond Holliwell has summarized the entire chapter with such an amazing amount of experience that he gathered, probably. You see, he summarized the entire chapter by saying all the theory, all the action steps. He just says, praise life that good is everywhere. If there's only one thing that you can take from this live webinar today, from my session at least, I want you to take this sentence right over here. It's there in the chapter. It's the last sentence. Praise life that good is everywhere. In this way, you'll be able to look at only accomplishments, the good and the beauty in everyone and in everything. And this is the formula that can take you out of sickness and put you into perfect health. This is the formula. It doesn't matter what your health reports are saying at the moment right now. You can build a picture in your imagination of you being in perfect health and then give thanks in advance that you are in perfect health. That's the way the law of increase works with the universe. So you can lift yourself out of sickness and move yourself into perfect health. This same formula, praise life that good is everywhere, it'll lift you out of ignorance and, take you into intelligence. Ignorance is like blaming everything and everyone outside of you for your reality. You're angry on everything that you have right now. I don't want this, I don't want that. I have this because of this. I got into trouble because of her, because of that person, this person, because of my mobile phone, because my laptop broke down, my car broke down. That is working with ignorance. When you are working with the law of increase, you give praise even in adversity. And that is how you get out of sickness and you get into health. That is how you get out of ignorance and you get into intelligence. The intelligent person knows through wisdom and understanding and application that the law of increase will give you intelligence and it will help you to move out of your ignorance. How? When you go to the root cause of everything that's happening in your life, and the root cause lies in your consciousness. Intelligence will teach you that all the things that are happening in your life, you don't need to blame anyone for it because you have the power inside of you to change everything that you want. You want to change your circumstances? Absolutely, you can. You want to move into a different environment? Absolutely, you can. You want to change the conditions of your life, change your thinking. That's it. Go to your consciousness. That's what the intelligent person understands. But the ignorant person thinks that everything that's happening in their life, if it's bad, it's caused by outside things and outside people. But if it's good, it's caused by the person themselves. Get rid of this thinking. That's the way ignorance think. You are intelligent right now because you are understanding the laws of the universe through wisdom and you are applying it. So apply the law of increase right now in your life. Start it with your tonight's prayer before you go to bed. Apply the law of increase and see how you feel in about the next 2-3 days. This is the same formula, praise life that good is everywhere, will take you out of poverty and get you into a state of affluence. Now, by poverty is meant over here the kind of money that you're earning right now, but you don't want to earn it. And affluence represents the exact lifestyle, the kind of money that you want to earn on a monthly on an annual basis. So if you praise life that good is everywhere, you will get out of poverty consciousness and you will get into an affluence consciousness. Because in this way, being an intelligent person, you are changing the root cause, and that root cause, lies in your consciousness. It does not lie outside of yourself. It does not, you don't have to go out looking for it anyway. It lies inside of you, right in your consciousness. That's where the root cause is. And you change it simply by changing your thoughts, by making sure that whatever it is you're thinking throughout the day, they are in harmony with the laws of the universe. The same formula, praise life that good is everywhere, can convert all your weaknesses into strength. Your friends might have told you a lot about your weaknesses, your parents, your family, maybe even your spouse. They might have spoken to you about your weaknesses. Sometimes we don't like listening to our weaknesses. But if you are working with the law throughout the day, you understand that the moment you hear somebody talking about your weakness, first take a halt and realize whether you consider it to be your weakness or not. If this is the thing, if this weakness is bringing about poor results, remember, you can become strong in that area. Just by imagining yourself to be strong, just by having faith that you are already strong, and by giving thanks in advance to the laws of the universe, to the Lord, to the formless substance, to whatever you consider to be Lord, giving thanks in advance that your goals have been accomplished, that you are already strong. And the same formula, praise life that good is everywhere, it will take away all your fears and make you courageous. What are the things that you fear? Make a list of it. Have you ever heard your friend, your spouse, your family members talking to you and telling you that you fear this, you're afraid of that? Don't take it in your ego. Just write it down, note it down somewhere, and really ask yourself when you're alone, am I really afraid of this? If it is so, give blessing to the thing that you're afraid of and face it. The thing that you fear to do the most, when you do it ultimately, you see the death of fear. That is the only way to kill fear. And that is by replacing it in your consciousness. Fear lies in your consciousness. All you need to do is follow the laws of the universe, the law of increase especially, and replace your fear with courage. And there you go. You've become a courageous man or a courageous woman handling a multi-million-dollar business. So that's all that I have for you today in the law of increase. I hope you have understood what the law of increase is. I hope you have understood how to apply faith and how to apply praise. I hope you will be, applying the law of increase from the night itself. Before you go to bed, you will make a short 15 to 20-minute prayer, and you will apply the law of praise over and over again till you get it into a habit of making the law of increase a natural habit, like you do it every day without even thinking about it. That's what unconscious competents do. They have this thing already built in their consciousness. They give thanks for everything that they have. They build upon it. And while they are working, they are giving thanks that their goal is already accomplished. And that's how they accomplish everything that they have accomplished so far. That's the way everything has been accomplished in history, whatever has been accomplished. So I would like to leave you with that. And I hope this was very valuable for all of you who have tuned in live in this webinar. And for those of you who will be watching it later on. Over to you, Sukhvi. Thank you for having me over.
Awesome, Shekhar. I want you to stay here for a few more minutes, and don't keep your
Absolutely.
video off. Keep it on.
Okay.
You was going through that, in such a very easy, calm, relaxed way, and
Thank
you see the
you.
influence of it. You was talking about praise, praise, praise. If you look just below that Zoom webinar link, there is a column which says that raise hand, and my mind was reading it as like praise hand. So that was a praise going on in my mind all the
Wow.
time. Absolutely wonderful idea. And I'm just going to elaborate a little bit more about the same idea on our sixth person, the secret genie, the magical diagram that we all have. And what I want all of you to do now is that bring your attention right there on the screen, because in the last 25 minutes, 30 minutes so, we have been talking about one of the best idea that you can ever listen in your life, and it's about praising yourself. you know Ask yourself a question: how many times you find yourself moving towards what's not there in your life? Like I talk to clients and I talk to people, and in conversation, they start telling me like, okay, Subir, I don't have money, I don't have resources, I don't have this, I don't have that. Let's keep all that away for a minute and let's start appreciating, and let's start praising what we have. And Shaker already given you an exercise for the night that go to bed with a prayer. Let me add another one. Wake up with gratitude. Like I have built another ritual usually, and to be very honest, I just started doing it, restarted doing it from today. You know, it doesn't matter whatever time I wake up. Sometimes I'm wake up in the midnight 3 a.m., but that doesn't mean I'm out of my bed at 3 a.m., right? I'm just talking about if I'm awake. What I start doing is that whenever I wake up, I don't get out of my bed until or unless I start, feeling that vibration of gratefulness. And what I do is I remind myself about what great things I have in my life. I remind myself about a great house I'm living. I remind myself about the great work I'm doing. I remind myself about the great clothes I'm wearing. I remind myself about the warm environment that I have in my home. I remind myself about all these things. You know what happened? Before I wake up, I'm in a state of gratitude. It's an attitude of gratitude. And that itself is praising yourself, giving yourself an instruction to your subconscious mind that there are so many things in your life to be thankful of, to be grateful of. And at the same time, what you have to learn is that start understanding how to share that gratefulness or how to spread this to others. And Shekhar shared something very beautiful. He said, praise others. And he also shared an example, like Raymond Holliwell shares an example in the book that how small kids feel so happy when they receive a praise from someone. I want you to imagine when you was a little kid and you did something and your parents came and they said, wow, I'm proud of you. Imagine the feeling you had at that time. It was like you had everything at that moment. And it was not about money, it was just about that statement that your loved one has shared with you. And that literally bring the whole happiness to you. Now relate that to you. Right now, this is who you are right here. This is your mind. This is your body. And understand that within yourself, in your subconscious mind, there is a little kid that is still alive. And you have to consciously and deliberately start feeding praise to this little kid. You know what's going to happen? When you give praise and praise to yourself, when you appreciate yourself, and even Bob said, wake up and kiss yourself. You got to do these kind of stuff. Really give yourself the importance that you deserve. You know why? Because you're God's highest form of creation, capable of doing great work. And that's not just a woo stuff. That's true. And the more you study it, you're going to realize how powerful you are. You and I are the only creature on this planet who have the ability to think. Then why not think what is good for us? And that's where the reconditioning of your mind, reprogramming of your mind comes into place. And we share two valuable tools with you today. Shekhar talked about a night prayer that just talked about just talk something good for yourself. And I believe, Shekhar, that would be a great idea if we can find out one of Joseph Murphy's prayer and we share that with our audience. How do you feel about that idea?
Yeah, sure. I'll leave that in the comment section below later.
Perfect, because I believe Joseph Murphy has one of the best prayers ever,
Yeah.
because he gives you some words that you may not understand on a conscious level, but if you keep repeating them at the subconscious level, bang, there are going to be a lot of changes in you. All right. So Shekhar will be sharing a prayer later on in the comment section on our YouTube. And for the morning ritual, I'm going to put up a link where you can go to Amazon and you can buy the gratitude journal that we have. That gratitude journal, it has a step-by-step process how you can really bring your morning routine on a certain great level and how you can really kickstart your day. And remember, We all want increase in our life, and when we are praised, when we are praising ourselves, we feel good about ourselves, and we feel like that. Oh wow, that's so beautiful. So praise yourself every day. Have faith that you can do whatever you want to do. Keep rereading these, material that we are going to share with you. Keep rewatching these videos over and over and over again, because if you keep rewatching just a one law for 30 days, you're going to become a completely different person at the end of the 30 days. And that is a fact. And on that note, we would love to take, a leave from today. And I believe we had an absolutely incredible session. And Shaker, I'm so thankful and so grateful for having you here, because
Oh,
these
thank you
coaching
for inviting
hours,
me
they are
over.
just becoming better and better, right?
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect. And for our audience, we have very great surprises coming on for you. So keep an eye in the show, because this show pretty soon it is going to take a very new shape in a very great and a big and a grander direction, which all is going to just benefit you, every single one of you who is going to watch this in the near future. So with that note, thank you so much, Shaker, for being here, and
Thank you, Sukhveer.
we'll see them next time. So
Yeah.
everybody, thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Shaker. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Sukhveer. Thank you,
your
everyone.
valuable knowledge that you're sharing here with